Yeah.
We've been talking a lot of Bears if you're just tuning in, and why wouldn't we? There's so much to talk about when it comes to the Bears. And I hear what Caleb Williams is saying coming into the segment, but let's be honest. There was nothing fun about last year. Nothing. And if I would have told you after the Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit last season that the Bears 1 year later would have a Coach of the Year candidate, right? That Caleb Williams would be talked about as Mr. Clutch, that the Bears would have 11 wins,
Make the playoffs,
have an opportunity to win the NFC North. You know, that take the North and never give it back. They actually, for the first time since Ryan Poles became general manager, 2 consecutive weeks, they're in first place in the NFC North. So they did take the North, and they haven't given it back just yet. And they may actually clinch the North, which is amazing. They have to beat San Francisco this weekend to make it happen. And
they can. If Green Bay loses on Saturday, they clinch.
Yes, that's true.
So they could actually clinch the division before they ever step on the field in San Francisco.
So technically,
sorry to yell at you.
No.
It's Ruthie, I want to make sure we all know
you're not different than anyone else. Welcome to the score. The thing that sticks out to me is that, and there are 3 ways they can do it.
Yeah,
they beat San Francisco. They don't have to worry about anybody else.
Yes.
They could tie with San Francisco, and if Green Bay ties this weekend, they clinch the NFC North. And obviously, if the Packers lose. So, yeah. But I tried to make it easy. Anyway, the point is, I think that there's this notion that, and this narrative that this is just the beginning. And yeah, that may be true. But I said this earlier, and I just want to reiterate it, Ruthie, because
I hear you.
Anyone who has grown up a Bears fan knows what I'm about to say. When has there been a time where in the modern era, and let's say since the invention of color television, when has there been a time where the Bears have truly sustained success? Right? They won the championship in 1962. It doesn't matter what era you began following the Bears. 63, they win the championship. It's a one-shot deal sandwiched between the greatest dynasty of modern football, the Green Bay Packers and Lombardi, right? Then you have Butkus and Sayers. They never came close to sniffing the playoffs. The 1970s, a forgettable decade. Yes, they had sweetness, but they didn't win. 85, the greatest single season that any football team has had in the Super Bowl era. And you're thinking it's just the beginning of a dynasty. And it wasn't. The 90s, forgettable. Lovie Smith comes in. They make the Super Bowl in 2006 with Rex Grossman, and you're thinking, Urlacher, Briggs, Peanut, this is the beginning, Hester, this is the beginning of something really special. It was not. 2018, Matt Nagy comes in, Mitch Trubisky. You would never have thought back then, Mitchell Trubisky's going to be a guy that you see as a professional backup in commercials, ordering food for people in insurance company type stuff, right? But that was it. A one-shot deal. Double doink happens. You're thinking, man, the Bears will get a kicker in 2019, and they'll be back to where they need to be. Never happened. That's why make this the year. Don't squander this opportunity. It's wide open. There are like 6 teams that you could say right now can win the championship. The Bears are on that list. Don't squander this opportunity.
I hear you. And I think Ben Johnson knows that better than most. Because if you remember, Dan Campbell 2 years ago in tears. 2 years ago? 2 years ago in tears.
San Francisco.
When they lost. And he said, that might have been our shot. And that's the NFL. I mean, you look at, other than the Patriots dynasty and the Chiefs, who I'm still convinced will be back, it's so hard to win in this league. And the parity is so, I don't even know the right word. Every year, it's consistent. The parity is consistent every year. So I just think that when you have an opportunity to capitalize on. And I know this is crazy because we're supposed to be smarter than this, but I don't know how to describe what's happening this year other than magical.
Yes.
It's been magic. And the ball is bouncing their way. All these years of, the Bears being on the other side of these kinds of games, they're finding ways to win them. And it does feel like there is an opportunity to seize the moment. And I get it. I mean, I hear you. And I think Ben Johnson hears you too, because he was a part of that, when the Lions lost and they felt like that was their time.
There's so many metrics that we use to be able to show statistically how well a team is doing or how poorly a team is doing. The one thing you cannot truly quantify in sports is luck, but it exists.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And there's been a lot of luck this year. Now, to be fair, the Bears have pounced every opportunity they've gotten. They've taken advantage. Mm-hmm. That's why they're 11-4. That's why they're fighting for an NFC North crown. That's why they're fighting for a potential top seed in the NFC. That's why they are, dare I say it, a Super Bowl contender in 2025 heading into 2026. But you don't know that this is going to happen next year. You just don't. There's an assumption that Caleb Williams is going to take that next step next year. It may not happen. Didn't happen with Jaden Daniels. I'm sure when Joe Burrow made the Super Bowl a few years ago with the Bengals and they faced the Rams, they thought, well, this is the beginning of something really special. It has not been as great as Burrow is when he's healthy. And we've gone through a 2-decade stretch now of essentially either Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes winning a championship. And every now and then, someone gets another crack, whether it was Stafford with the Rams, the Eagles when they won with Nick Foles, the Eagles when they won with Jalen Hurts. But it's really hard to be one of those teams.
Yeah. Look at the Eagles this year, after last year. It's hard.
And that's why, at least if you are a true follower of Bears history, and I said this the other day when they beat the Packers, there's a whole generation of Bears fans who have never experienced what they experienced that night against Green Bay. Like a true defining win.
Yeah.
Right? Because they've been so bad for so long, with the exception of 2018. When you find yourself in this position, you have to take advantage. Because there's a lot of stuff happening this year that you just cannot explain, facing a whole multitude of backup quarterbacks each week. These weird plays that have happened. You mentioned it earlier, Ruthie, that Blackwell has made these phenomenal plays on special teams. But there are also some weird plays that the other team is making.
Right.
That he's been able to take advantage of
right.
that you can't explain. You were outplayed by Malik Willis.
Yeah.
For nearly an entire football game the other night. And you needed this miracle comeback against a Jordan Loveless team and a Micah Parsons-less team.
Right.
But you got it.
Right.
So when those things happen, you can't just stop there. You have to take advantage of what's unfolding this year.
I hear you. And I think there's something very beautiful in the way that the belief, that's sort of been the theme of the year, is that when you have these fourth quarter comebacks and you have the evidence and it's on paper, the proof is in the pudding, we can do it, we've seen it. Like, that's all happening within Hallis Hall. But I think the fan base and the city also is finally starting to believe, because for a while it just sort of felt like everyone was like waiting for the other shoe to fall. Like, everyone was saying it's too good to be true. This isn't the Bears that we know and love. And then things happen like Saturday night, and I think you're sitting there, and I think the Eagles, the win over the Eagles in Philly on Black Friday was a defining moment for this fan base, for the team. But Saturday night took everything to another level, where it was, again, just the moment and the theatrics of it all, where the fan base is saying, why should we doubt this team? Like, there's no reason to doubt this team anymore. And so you believe with every single game on their schedule, that's the next 2 games and then beyond, the Bears have a chance to win it. because of who they are and their new identity. And I think that's been really fun to see, just sort of the evolution of the fan base sort of just come around and be like, this is the moment. Like, this is the time.
Seize the moment.
Yeah.
That's what you want. And I think the thing that struck me, and there were many years where I was down on the sidelines watching the Bears, and almost always in all those big moments that the Bears have had over the years. And again, it doesn't matter when you started following Bears football. I think this holds true for you, whether you started in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and at the start of this millennium. Almost always, the best defining play that the Bears have produced has been a big hit by the defense, an incredible return on special teams, a kick, a run,
Yeah.
a pick six, a fumble recovery. But how many times has there been a defining throw? And that's what made what we saw Saturday night so different. It wasn't just one defining throw, two.
Yeah. 100%. To an undrafted rookie, one of them.
Yes,
by the way.
With an all-out blitz coming in. Yeah, I know the Packers screwed up. But you know what? Caleb still had to recognize what was happening.
Absolutely.
And place the ball perfectly.
And trust the receiver.
Correct. So that's one. And then he threw DJ Moore open, because DJ Moore was not open on that walk-off touchdown pass until the ball landed in the basket. Mm-hmm. He had a defensive back draped all over him. That throw is as good as any throw you will see in the NFL this season, and it is arguably the best throw that any Bears fan has seen a quarterback make in their lifetime. Think about that.
Yeah.
And there have been some cool pass plays,
Sure.
very few of them, over the course of Bears history. Just off the top of my head,
Yeah.
the Rex Grossman to Bernard Berrien bomb in the NFC Championship game against New Orleans. You know, a few years back, there was a primetime game in San Diego before the Chargers moved. Jay Cutler just fired this rifle to Zach Miller, who made this incredible one-handed catch to score a touchdown, and the Bears won that game. But that's not Green Bay.
In overtime, with the division on the line, in the new era, like everything that just means for the moment, I think is what makes it so special. And of course, the actual act of the throw and the catch is unbelievable as well.
Which is phenomenal. And all I'm saying is, let's be realistic about what we've watched from the Bears through history. When you have an opportunity to win a championship, and they have an opportunity this year, you know, it's not some crazy talk anymore.
Right.
They believe it inside that building that they're good enough to win a championship. And I think what happened against Green Bay, you know, the word belief has been used a lot. Fans now believe it.
Right.
Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if you're ever going to have this opportunity again. They may. You think they will, because everyone should be back offensively next year, I believe. Second year in the system. But think about every move they made, Ruthie, this offseason. Every move was a home run.
Well, it's interesting. I wonder, do you believe the Bears can go beat the San Francisco 49ers this weekend? And to you listening, do you believe that the Bears can go beat the San Francisco 49ers this weekend, control their own destiny, and lock up the division, maybe try and get the 1 seed? Is there belief out after what we saw on Monday night? I mean, I think that was very telling about that team is peaking in the right moment, and the Bears struggled for 55 minutes. Like, when we zoom out, you know, the Bears really struggled for 55 minutes on Saturday. So I just wonder, do you, Zach Zaidman, do you believe?
I think what they did against Philadelphia changed the way I look at the team.
Okay.
Because when they went on the road and they bullied the Eagles.
I know.
Right?
Awesome.
So that shows you that they can,
in their house.
Right. So they can beat anybody. There's no one that you look at in the NFC, and I know the Rams are really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. They're not unbeatable.
Right.
Seahawks are really good. They're not unbeatable. Green Bay is really good when healthy, and as we saw, they're beatable.
Yeah.
So, and even when you don't play well. So for the Bears, there's a chance here this year. This is a unique year. It's a weird year in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because there is no favorite. That's why you got to take advantage of it.